All right, everybody, here we are, episode 2 of the Stranger Things series. Um,
Oh,
I wasn't supposed to say as much.
yeah.
That was the
And
feedback
this
that I was
isn't
getting.
called the Stranger Things series.
What's it called? Oh, sorry. Maybe we run that back real quick. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Episodes Unscripted. This is the Stranger Things series, the second episode. I am joined by Charlie Harcum and Shauna Fretwell, and I'm Scott Feltz. So we are just going to dive right into it. Yeah, everybody's got their notes up, and
Bring it.
Let's do it.
Y'all look so nice and cozy there. How is it? I mean, it looks like, it must be nice to be in a nice studio like that and not like in your parents' basement with
yeah,
your
there's
with your old racing fire suit hanging
it's
behind
a
you.
little bit lonely not having you alongside here. It's like,
Oh,
Chuck. Oh no, he's on the camera. He's
yeah.
in his
Look,
parents'
there he is
basement.
again.
I bet you
It's
couldn't
cool.
get up and run to grab something because you said you're tucked in to the corner.
If an emergency happens right now, I'm not gonna be saving the day.
You're just gonna be stuck
I
there.
could not get out if I tried. So
That's brilliant.
anyway, I diverge this.
Okay, so episode 2. Basically, what happened? Little recap. 11 went to Mike's house. They found her in the woods at the end of episode 1. They bring her back, put her in the basement, hide her.
She
What
gets
else?
her name in this episode.
She gets her. Well, yeah, because they name her L.
Hide her in the bait. That's so. I'm like, come on, parents. I don't
Oh,
think my kids could
right,
hide somebody in my
right.
house without me knowing.
Let me get the recap first, and then we'll
Okay,
dive into it.
sorry.
Okay, so then we go to Mike. No, not Mike. Hop talks to Joyce again.
Mm.
Still haven't found anything. He goes to Lonnie's. Lonnie didn't have anything. Jonathan goes to Lonnie's. Interaction there. Still nothing. Joyce buys a phone. Will calls again. And the phone blows up. Then she has the crazy moment with the lights. And the boys don't tell about 11 yet. But 11 definitely knows where Will is. And we wrap it all up with Jonathan spying on the party.
Mm.
And Barb goes, "Shh, gone." So that's where we're at. That's where we end episode 2. Barb disappears at the pool. But let's jump back to taking in a stray child and put her in the basement.
Where's your hair? You have cancer?
Did he run away? Are you in some kind of trouble?
And then they freak out because at one point she starts to change her clothes or something in the basement,
Yeah, and
and
she
they all
just-
lose their mind.
Right.
No!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
She-
Oh my god!
And I'm thinking,
He's like,
I don't know how y'all know she's a girl. I don't know. I remember
she's
the
a
first time
child,
through
but-
this series, the first 2 episodes in particular, I think I watched it by myself. I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, and I'm like, they're calling it a girl, and we're going to suddenly find out, no, it's not even a girl, it's really a boy. Anyway, I won't bring it up anymore because I now we for sure it's a girl, but
We've confirmed.
yeah.
So go back to what you were saying before about the fact that they put her in the basement and no one finds her.
Oh,
A human child in the basement.
Yeah.
We're up having breakfast. She's been down there all night. Are we not going to the basement for anything at any point?
right. And I don't think, how old are they? How old are they?
Like 11, 12.
11, 12. I don't think they could pull that off.
I think we should tell your mom.
I second that. Who's crazy now? How was that crazy?
Not with those. I mean, I guess maybe we've already talked though. I mean, their parents are a little bit
This was the 80s.
oddballs.
Yeah.
The basement was the hangout. I mean,
Well, maybe that's why the parents don't go down there, because the kids hang out down there.
That's what
And
I'm
they're like,
saying.
nah, that's their. Well, but they'd still have to go down there for something, surely. Laundry? No?
Definitely the laundry room is down there. Definitely the laundry room is down there. So the husband's definitely going to be going down there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's no way that they don't.
That's super proactive. Very
Wow,
involved.
that was a
is
great
definitely
comment.
going down.
That'll win you some brownie points.
No, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. And
He's a quiet child. 11 is a quiet child. It's not like she's your average kid down there.
sure.
She knew how to hide.
Yeah, but I'm just not buying it. When they're sitting at the table and I'm thinking, no one's gone to the basement
Parents
anything.
just don't always go to the basement.
They didn't hear anything.
One other thing that I think at some point in there, Mike, before they were like, oh, we're just going to hide you. And then he says, hey, we're going to let you go outside and come back through and just show up at the front door. My mom will be like, oh, and she'll know what to do.
Yeah.
And Elle's like, no.
In the morning, she sneaks around my house, goes to the front door, and rings my doorbell. My mom will answer and know exactly what to do.
I
Yeah.
can't remember if we're going to figure out like why I guess she's just not trusting adults.
Because she does, yeah.
Because the last guy got shot that called somebody up. He's like, hey, I found this child.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
because the
And he gets
powers that
shot.
be are entangled
But-
with law enforcement and everyone else.
My argument, though, there is she obviously can understand, like, she has a broad enough vocabulary to understand what people are saying. Why are we
Yes.
not talking?
Yes.
You can say a few
That
words.
drives me crazy.
She's traumatized.
No, I'm
She's
not buying that.
traumatized.
Because she does this really dramatic, like, is someone coming after you? Bad. Like,
Right.
whoa, wait. You can just say,
But
she's
you
like,
comprehend
understand.
all of it.
Yeah, she's like, do you
I'm glad
understand?
you said that because
And I'm thinking, you can just say, no, don't call anyone. They're going to come and shoot you. But no, we bad. Point a finger gun. But I'll say the most authentic reaction of anything yet that we've seen is Mike's reaction to when he's like, what's your name? And she shows him her tattoo and he's like, is that real? It's the most authentic reaction a kid would have to another kid having a tattoo. Is that real? Oh my God, that's crazy. I've just never seen a kid have a tattoo. Sorry.
One weird thing that happened was one of these annoying little, you would never talk like that, or I just didn't like it. I think it was before actually Mike had hidden her, but they were showing Hopper and all the sheriff folks, and they're still out in the woods searching.
Yeah.
Somebody runs up, or either he goes and talks to Joyce at one point, and yeah, it was Joyce. And he's like, Joyce, we've been searching all night. And she goes, and? It bothers me because if he had found her or something, I guess she was just saying, and like, did you find anything? And I'm
Or do you
thinking,
have an update?
come on, he would have told you. Like,
Right. I have that problem.
it was just the dramatic, like, oh, we're trying to build drama. No, well, we already know.
in general, right. I feel like I get called out a lot about it. You guys were just calling me out about something where I'm like, I don't need to answer the obvious. Hey, we've been looking for your son all night.
And
Obviously, we didn't find him, or I would open with that.
But there's an update beyond whether you found him or you didn't. Did you find a clue? Do you have a direction you're going in?
yeah,
Do you have
as
an
I was saying
update
it out
for
loud,
me?
I was like, maybe it could have been just, and what's the latest?
I felt like
I felt like she was saying, and did you find him?
Also, she's a
Yeah, we
grieving
did.
mother.
It's just a trick.
She's
I just
a
wanted you
grieving
to
mother.
ask.
just want to hear you ask. I don't like the whole, and I don't know if we really know yet. I can't remember if we know. I guess we picked up on the fact that his daughter is not around, whether, he's just not involved or she's dead. But the whole clapback, surely Joyce knows the situation with
Yep.
him and his daughter, but the
Yep.
whole, she's like, it's my son's breathing. I know his breathing. Wouldn't you know your daughter's?
I don't know my own son's breathing. Wouldn't you know your own daughter's?
Oh, that cuts a little deep, especially if you know the situation.
Yeah.
I don't think she meant it maliciously. Because that's definitely a gut punch line to throw, but I don't think she meant it maliciously. I think she was desperately trying to get him to understand and believe her.
Yeah.
I don't think she was coming for his throat. I really don't. I think she's just, again, super frantic.
I think she was, because I think she's sitting there like, again, I mean, if my mom's dead and and you throw some line out there, like, wouldn't you be able to, tell if that was your mom? My mom's dead, and you know that. That's a little bit
Right, and they're about to
sensitive.
be in the same boat because at this point we're starting to believe Will might be too. Well, everyone else is, not her. She's desperate. She needs somebody to believe her, and she needs.
I don't doubt the reason she said it was because it was such a. I just thought, man, that's cold.
What's all the Joyce hate, Scott?
It's not
It's a
hate.
grieving mom.
It is.
Sometimes
How
I
long
like
has he
to
been
think
gone?
about like, what were the writers thinking when they threw a line in there like that? I felt like it was just a great opportunity to let's double down on there's something going on with Hopper's daughter.
Yeah.
So let's make it real dramatic
Yep.
at Joyce's disposal.
Yeah, because
That's
he
not the
played
right
that
word.
really well. Like, ooh, all right, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm
You cut me deep.
I'm
Shrek.
walking away.
Cut me real deep.
Or was he mad? I don't remember. Was he mad or just taking a
He
bath?
walked away like really like, okay.
So for us to think, oh man, something really bad
Something's-
happened to his daughter.
Right. There's
Maybe
a situation
she's not
there.
around anymore.
Um,
Real quick,
yeah.
I just want to also double down on, I mean, this whole thing, they nailed the 80s. Like, it's not even just when you see a movie that they're like, oh, it's set in a certain time period, not like Westerns, but like the 60s. And so you see a car or something, or you see certain
Yeah.
things. Man, everything in this is 80s, 80s, 80s. Like, it's not just subtle references. It just,
Right.
the background, the scenery, like it's everything. A lot of
color
effort.
schemes.
Yeah, the
I think-
colors.
I think that was when the show first came out. I think that was some of the most positive feedback they received was like, oh my gosh, the nostalgia is so heavy here for anybody who remembers the 80s.
Yeah, the
because it is-
browns and the
Yeah, it was all those little touches and all yeah, very much so.
right, Scott?
Yeah, totally. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Remember in the 80s.
But even the basement life, so 80s.
Yeah.
Like being able to just do stuff and your parents may not know for like a week. It was the 80s.
Yeah, I agree with you guys so much.
One other thing about the 80s. This is a note. I'm not just going
Right.
off on the 80s. I guess back then it wasn't as big of a deal, but when kids don't show up to school, certainly nowadays, like somebody's calling you. Somebody's gonna say, "Hey, Charlie, did you know like such
Well, now
and
there's
such
software that
didn't
calls
show up?" Right,
You get automated calls when your kid misses one class period.
right. And
So in
for
the 80s, it wasn't.
it wasn't, but I feel like it wasn't, obviously you couldn't get somebody as quick and say, "Hey, let me call you on your cell and hey, your daughter's not at school today." But somebody eventually was gonna.
You had time.
And I was just thinking, Mike, I mean, obviously Will, but Mike didn't go to school. I don't remember. I guess it was just one day, but it just stuck in my mind. Like, he doesn't seem to think that somebody's not going to immediately call his mom or his dad.
Right.
And they'll be like, Mike didn't come to school today.
I mean, when you skipped school a lot when you were a kid,
Never.
what was
Never.
Right.
One day, my parents were out of town for something.
nice?
This was high school, though. And I think I was sick or something.
Nice.
And I remember they got called wherever they were. I don't know, or they called my sister or something. And that was late 90s.
How soon in the morning?
I can't
Charlie's
remember.
not here.
But I remember thinking, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm sick.
right. didn't
I
come to
guess at
school,
that
that's
point,
it.
I didn't even realize, oh, parents normally call the school and say, hey, my son's not coming to school today.
See, I had a whole system down because we had Miss Estrada. She was like
When
the
you
school
skipped?
mom. Yes.
Nice.
So I would skip class, but they're going to call you usually in the evening. So I'd pick up and pretend to be my mom.
Nice.
And I
What?
had a whole
Wow. Two different personalities here.
Wow.
system going.
I would never be so bold as to do something like that.
Did you say Miss Estrada? Who did you say?
Miss Estrada, she was like the school mom.
I like the way you named her as if we knew who that is. I
Yeah.
had Miss Estrada, so
Miss Estrada
it
was
was
so
Obviously.
good. Y'all know
Oh,
who she is
right,
without
of course.
knowing who she
No,
is.
for sure.
That's Andre's wife. You're welcome.
Okay. I'm gonna circle us back here. So in the hallway, they're at school. before the bell rings and Steve's telling Nancy and Barb about the party. Hey, we're coming over to my place.
But it's
and they
Tuesday.
see Jonathan and they're like, oh, look at this dork. And they're like picking on him, you know? And then of course Nancy goes over there. I have an issue with the fact that Jonathan can be a dork, and he definitely is. And we find that out. Not a dork, just weird. Just like a...
Wow. Bold words.
Not really. Maybe not dork,
He's
but
unique.
like he's unique for sure.
And a positive.
He confirms
unique is
that.
positive.
Well, later on, he's a little too unique. But at this point, right, we don't know that he's spying on him and taking photos. He's just being Jonathan, and he's kind of an outcast. I don't understand why Jonathan is bullied, and I'm going to say it, and Barb isn't. Barb, you can...
Wow.
Particles go through gold foil. They become
Unoccupied space.
But at the same time, Barb had a level of confidence. She wasn't like an insecure person, and that'll put a target on your back. Whereas Jonathan, his body language, he comes across more like a target.
Okay, maybe I just think my beef, though, is the fact that they're so like, okay, he's a loser. His brother's lost. What an idiot. And Barb rolls up looking and acting the way she does, and they're like, nobody has anything to say. There's never a moment of like, you know, when Barb's not looking and they're like, Barb, really? That's...
I'm not going to throw shade at Barb.
Back on the Twinkies, Barb. Is that what you're trying to say, right?
I'm not calling her fat. I mean...
You're just saying she's fat and ugly. Is that what you're saying?
No, again, she's not that fat.
What's wrong with her then?
Throw shade at her though, because Steve's trying to run game on Nancy.
She's a ginger. That's
you don't like her?
She's a ginger.
Oh, and you
There,
didn't
I
like the
said
big
it.
glasses.
Big
That was
glasses,
an 80s thing.
ginger.
That was an 80s thing.
You know, it just the capris. It was a weird look.
I didn't pick up on the
I didn't see
wardrobe too. Man, you were a bully, weren't you?
low key
Oh my
interested in Barb.
gosh.
I was just
Yeah.
interested in
That's normally what it is too.
Right.
There's an attractiveness there. Like you're attractive, but you're like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to like that kind of person, so I'm gonna bully him. Man, we're learning a lot about
I
you,
just-
Scott.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Steve, and I'm like, Steve, you don't want to bully her? You don't want to? Yeah. Okay, not cool. Whatever. It's cool.
Jonathan definitely has some kind of, again, I can't remember things we might eventually learn, but Jonathan has a significant limp, right?
Limp?
He's got a weird, when he
Walk?
walks out of that, yeah,
He
it's
kind of
almost
walks
like
a
he's
little hunched over.
dragging but he's got a drag on one of his feet too. It's very obvious in one of the scenes when he walks out the front of the house. Yeah, you should go back and check it out because it's almost like he's got physical problems too.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Wait.
I was gonna look it up.
No, don't Google.
should
No, we don't
totally.
Google because we might find out later.
That's fair. I didn't know
Google it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Jonathan have a limp.
I'm trying to.
That's literally
The
what it
one scene where he walks out the front of the house and somebody just pulled up. I don't remember who it was. It's very dramatic. Like he's dragging his foot. You know, like he's got Jonathan's life
Jonathan's
is
got a
against
history.
him.
Yeah, I think that's part of why he's an outcast and gets picked on. He's had a
Yes.
tough life. He's from the wrong side of the tracks. You know, single mom.
Those were the kinds of people I befriended, by the way, Scott.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I don't hate Jonathan. I think he's just a little misunderstood. I can't really figure out why they bully him, other than he just acts a little different.
Yeah. That's a slippery slope.
I don't like that Lucas is kind of punished for being the only rational one when they're in Mike's room and Eleven's sitting on the bed and Mike's like, she knows Will. She pointed to him, and Lucas is like, no, we're telling your mom. This is a human. We're telling your mom. I'm going to tell your mom. And they're all like, no. We have to, friends keep secrets. And then she like slams the door on Lucas and I'm just like, no, that's rational. That's the only kid here that's thinking like a kid. There is a child in your room, Mike, and we don't know what to do. And we're not just going to go off the idea of, ooh, bad people are after her. She said one word, bad.
Right.
We're just supposed to assume, no, not doing it. Telling the cops, no. I can appreciate that.
No, no, no. We're going back to plan A. We're telling your mom.
There was a period of time in there too. I think right when Mike was first hiding her, where the mood kind of lightened a little bit, and it was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be okay, and we're friends, and I remember thinking, man, Will is still missing. Like, it's still a big deal, but there was a 5 or 10 minute stretch there in that episode where it felt like, oh, okay, we still care that Will's missing, right? Like, this is a big deal.
Listen, we've got other stuff to do. I have other responsibilities than looking for your kid. All right. Listen, Flo was just telling me the garden gnomes are gone again. At some point, I gotta dig into that.
That's right.
I mean, listen, Joyce, go buy a new phone. I don't know what to tell you. It was a rough storm.
At some point in there too, I don't remember when it was, we had a classic cliche, you got to see this. Flo was telling Hopper about something, and she's like,
oh, yeah. She's like, you should probably get over there. No, just tell me what was said.
Yeah, just tell me before I get there. I might need to prep or what's going on.
You need to get over there, Hop.
Hey, Chief, we got a call from over at Benny's. I think you need to get there right away.
I guess things wouldn't be as dramatic. TV shows wouldn't be what they are if you just talk like normal, right?
I guess not. Also, who are we to say? I mean, it's a kid's gone missing in a small town. This guy's apparently shot himself. I mean, there is a lot going. Oh,
right. That's what it was. Yep.
I don't know. But I have an interesting thing I want to get to later about that maybe we can figure it out. I like that the guy, all the women talk about, Joyce's son. And then that one guy with scraggly beard in the station, he's talking about, I don't know. I was there that day at the diner. There was a boy in there. And he's like, was it this boy? Nah, that's Lonnie's kid. That won't him. And I'm like, you're the only guy that's referred to him as Lonnie's kid. Is this like, is Lonnie just like one of those, like him and all his buddies are hanging out at the bar, and that's when he's like, oh no, that's Lonnie's kid. I ain't seen him.
That guy was such a dork, though.
But everyone else is like, oh, that Joyce is missing her son.
He probably ran with Lonnie when he was still on the
scene. They were riding their bikes the streets when they were kids. They're sitting in the bar every night talking about the good old times. Yeah, you remember old Johnny? He used to come down. Oh, we had a good time then, man. Old Lonnie. The restricted area. This really bothers me. And maybe we'll find out more, but they're doing the search at night, and somebody finds something. Honestly, I don't know how he finds it, because it's this small little piece of fabric coming out of the tunnel. That little pipe drain. Oh, yeah. Which is bizarre to find that at night. But maybe, pipe, let me look. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then they walk over, and it's like, oh, restricted area. And it's this big fence. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Have we not considered this as an option? Are we just finding out about this restricted area? Because we're all standing there like, wait, you think he's in there? Well, maybe call the company. Surely we can, hey, we're missing a kid. Has he shown up? And you're, like we've not crossed that off the list already.
Right.
I don't know. That bothers me.
You're way too on the up and up with this, though. The bad guys would have you in a second. You're reporting the kid in the basement immediately. You're calling the restricted area.
Yeah, but that's my thing.
That's logical.
You're going to get us busted so fast.
That's the thing. We don't have any reason to think that they're bad guys, other than 11 said bad. It's a government
building surrounded with fences. Immediate distrust.
Well, but me as law enforcement is required to do my job and say, this is a fenced in area. I'm missing a kid. I need to ask everybody, hey, listen, I don't care what you guys are going on over there. We do whatever you want. I have a kid missing. Have you seen him? Yeah, I don't want to, I'd love to come search your area if you'll let me, but otherwise just tell me, have you seen him? Do I have any reason to want to go search there? I should be calling every business.
And they're guilty AF, and they're going to be like, nope.
It's a small town. I mean, like, well, they don't know. I mean, I guess they find out that a kid's missing, but they're more interested in 11 and the monsters and all that's going on. I don't think they really have any stake in people not finding Will.
They have a lot of stake in people not rolling up in there asking questions.
Well, I think my point though is I have no reason to know that, and so them rolling up to that fence like, ooh, maybe he's in this restricted area. We should have already crossed this off the list. A big gated area close to where he got lost. We should have already asked somebody.
Remind me, was the restricted area like just the fence of like
Around the building.
Yeah.
Around
It's a
the
big
facility.
barbed
So
wire
the
fence.
Right. I guess maybe this is more also what you're saying though. Like the restricted area shouldn't be a surprise either.
Right. It seemed as though when they rolled up to it, they were like, whoa, this is new. Well, it shouldn't be. It's a small
That
town.
place has probably been there for a long time.
We've been searching for a few nights now. No one has considered this as a possibility. I would expect Hop to be like, nah, I called the people.
Yeah, that was
they
the
said
second
no one's in
place
there.
I called. Yeah.
Right. Because it's a barbed wired fence end area. Like,
That's fair.
Okay, now that we found something, maybe we need to do a little more digging. But I called them, but they had a look like this is the first they've ever seen.
He's only been missing for a short period of time, and I think the places they looked first made a lot more sense.
Maybe. They just looked at it like, did you know this was here?
Right.
I have no idea what this is.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
I don't remember why I have this. Maybe y'all remember. I have written down milk for supper.
Milk for supper.
Milk
Yeah.
at the dinner table?
Oh, that's exactly what it was. They were drinking, the kids were drinking milk at supper time. Do y'all recall when
I
y'all
don't
were
remember.
younger drinking
absolutely.
milk for supper?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Please enlighten us.
I mean, that's it. We definitely had.
Was
supper.
it
What
a
were you
desire or was it, hey, you can have milk or
It was
water?
one of the options, milk or water. It was always milk or water.
You always got to go water, right?
I liked milk.
I guess
It's a real thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I mean, I know milk and kids, it always tends to be a drink, but man,
that was
I
during
can't
the height
remember
of like
ever.
the got milk era. Like everybody was drinking milk because it was like calcium, and that's part of having healthy kids. You have a glass of milk, but yeah, we would have a glass of milk with meals all the time.
Man, I had a cousin, this is way off topic. He would run in, like we'd be outside middle of summer, run in, we've been playing basketball all hot, sweaty. He would run in and all he wanted was a glass of milk.
Yeah, no, same.
Ew.
Did you know? I'm serious.
Ew.
Milk is actually more hydrating than water. You can look it up.
Whoa,
I don't-
somebody
It's more
please look that
hydrating
up.
than
Look that
water.
up.
Because water, a lot of times, while hydrating, lacks certain things that your body needs in terms of I don't think there's electrolytes in milk. But yeah, there's absolutely hydrating properties to milk.
I mean, literally in the
After
word H2O is hydrogen, which was where hydrate comes from.
This is from health.harvard.edu.
Very trustworthy.
After drinking milk, the study volunteers produce less urine and therefore retain more fluid than water or sports drink.
Because
Therefore,
it
milk
makes you pee. Oh, sorry.
was
Go ahead.
considered to provide better hydration. Because you're not peeing when you
You're
drink
not
milk.
peeing as much, so you
It
stay
doesn't
hydrated.
run
keeping
right
the
through
fluid.
you. Because you could drink too much water and actually end up in a bad way and deplete your nutrients, all your electrolytes and your salts. So you have to make sure that if you're just chugging water all the time to stay hydrated, you're missing.
I don't even remember the scene that you're referring to that brought this whole conversation up. They were
I'm
drinking
so
milk. at
glad you
dinner.
remember it was supper because you're right. That's why it was weird. I thought it was maybe Mike but he gave her waffles or something, didn't he?
Eggos.
Yeah, she was rolling into those.
Eggos. Oh,
Those are so gross.
that's a classic too.
Gross.
I don't like them.
We're not going
The real ones? Don't get the off-brand.
they're fake ones?
horrible. Yes, the off-brand
great
ones.
value.
They're
Okay,
not
okay.
good. Okay, sorry.
All right, let's get into the meat of this thing here. Jonathan taking pictures.
But we got to talk about some other things before we get to the pictures.
Do we?
Ooh, yes, we do.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know what you're thinking about, but there's a lot that transpires leading up to that party, and it's funny and noteworthy. Starting
Go
with
for
the, they do bully Nancy a little bit for the fact that she's shocked that they want to have a party on a Tuesday.
So are you in?
And for what?
No parents? Big house. Party? Ding, ding, ding. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Come on.
She's like,
Yeah.
but it's Tuesday. And they're like, so it's like this whole big thing, right? And then she has the conversation with Barb in the car, and Barb is like, what are you about to do? What are we even doing here? Like, you're compromising who you are
But this
because you want to go talk to this boy.
this is the classic, we knew this from the get-go. You could tell from looking at him.
Wow.
You can look at Nancy and Barb side by side and tell me that Nancy is not the one that's like, okay, eventually Nancy's going to realize she could fly with the cool kids and can skip out on studying and
Or just live a little.
The
I support her
cliche
in
cool
that.
kids. I mean, who's to
They
say they're
weren't
the
that
cool
cool.
kids?
They weren't that cool.
well, right. But
But also, Nancy's at a point in her life where she's getting older. She's towards she's in high school. And so she's been a good kid her whole life. And now she's like, maybe I want to go hang out with this cute guy. And like,
I don't know. Are you defending or I mean,
I'm in the middle. I understand where Barb is like, hey, listen, don't put yourself in a bad spot. But also, Barb can relax a little bit. You're not my mom. Let's just. I mean, she looks like
also,
somebody's
Barb,
mom, but
you're lucky to be here. Okay. The only reason you're here, Barb, is because I'm cool and I let you hang out with me.
no, I
Man,
think
you have got it in for Barb, obviously.
He was not part of the hashtag Justice for Barb. Do y'all remember that?
What?
I don't know
There was
that.
a whole hashtag. Anyway.
Oh, because she went out so soon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a whole
Oh, and
movement.
they're going looking for Will. And
Well,
they're
what
like,
was the significance of even mentioning this on Tuesday? Just to make it like give Barb even more of a reason to be like, Nancy, what are you
Yeah, it
doing?
set the stage for like, this is
I
not
think-
your use.
Well, I think it highlights the fact that Nancy and Barb are like, goody two shoes. It's a Tuesday. You're partying.
Well, but even now, if somebody tells me they're going out and doing something on
On a Tuesday.
Tuesday, I'm gonna be like,
it's Tuesday.
okay, it's Tuesday.
I don't disagree. I think maybe in that time period, it was a little bit more like, guys, you're partying. It's Tuesday night. We have school tomorrow.
I don't know if it's a time period thing. I think it's a
Where
lot
was
more of
Steve's
a-
family? What did he say? They were just out of town.
Yeah.
I get the vibe they were sort of
Convenient.
like wealthy
Right.
and not completely involved type of people.
Yeah,
They had a
which
big
is
house.
how Steve turned out to be
A little
Wow.
bit of a.
I
the
think
way he
he's a cool
is
guy.
now. Maybe he'll be all right. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, okay, but regardless of all that, they roll up. It's obvious that Barb is not having a good time. Nancy is, chugged a beer, shotgunned it.
Shotgun to beer. She
She's
did a
like-
great job, by the way.
Honestly, Barb's not taking advantage of the opportunity to fit in with cool kids.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
you
just
are-
saying.
probably-
Listen, here's the thing, though. She obviously doesn't want to be there. Okay, Barb, it's obvious you and Nancy are like,
Not aligned here.
this is,
Can I just say, this is probably not a surprise. I would have totally been Barb
oh yeah, you wouldn't have gone.
if I would have got. I'm telling you, I was very good in high school. Very.
You and a buddy
If
of
I had
yours.
been somewhere, and I'd have been like,
Let's play this out a little
What?
bit. Okay, it's me and you. Shauna, invite me and Chuck to a party in the hallway. I'm your buddy. I'm the
we're
one
gonna
that's
talk
like,
about
Steve.
it in school. That's even more crazy.
Oh my God.
All right, we're at
y'all.
lunch. You really like Shauna, and she comes over. All right, invite us to a party.
All right. I'm like, guys, my parents are out of town. Do y'all want to come hang out?
Are there going to be other
It's-
people there?
Yeah.
But
a couple.
It's Tuesday though too. I got homework.
You
Right,
do
Scott?
homework
You gotta do-
later.
No,
You
no,
do
no.
homework later.
No, we.
I mean, you don't have to come, but it's going to be really cool. And
I see you're inviting Charlie.
who are you in this scenario?
Oh,
Are you the tag along?
She's Nancy.
Are you the default?
No,
He's Nancy.
I'm his friend. He likes you. I'm trying to hook him up.
Okay.
Are you inviting Charlie?
Yeah. Come over. It'll be fun. We're going to
Charlie.
hang out by the pool. My parents are not there.
are we,
Come on. Don't be lame.
I don't have.
It's fine. You did schoolwork all week.
Let me.
Yeah.
Pin in that
Can we-
for a moment.
can we talk for a minute?
Let me
Yeah.
talk to him real fast.
Yeah. Am I gonna have to take my shirt off?
Maybe, but yeah, you can't wear that pool shirt. No, you have to take your shirt off.
But it's like freezing outside. What?
It's fine. This is your opportunity. You've been talking about her for so long now.
Yeah, but I don't even. I mean, yeah, talking like what? I mean,
It's
what?
happening. This is your chance.
I accidentally brushed her shoulder one time in class. That's about it. I mean, what?
Right. This is your moment. Don't blow this for
And
us,
it's
Chuck.
Tuesday. I mean, what am I going to tell Mama and Daddy?
God, you're getting red. Mom and Daddy. Don't tell them anything.
I got to tell them where I am.
Just make something up. You're coming over to my house to play
Dungeons and
micro
Dragons.
machines.
Well, I mean, what are we going to do over there? Like, what are we going to do? I don't
Hang out. I don't know.
What is it?
Cool
I don't
kids
know.
do.
I don't.
We figure it out. We pretend. All right. Do you have any friends that'll be there?
Yeah.
Is Nancy going to be there?
Yeah, I told her she could come and bring that
All right,
other girl,
we're-
whatever her
Chuck.
name is. Is
Barb?
that her name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is she going to be there?
I don't know. She goes everywhere Nancy goes, so maybe.
If
I
Barb's
think
going to
we
be
had
there,
that.
I'll go. I'm going to be there. Yeah. See,
might
here,
wear
let
those
me interject in the scene here real quick. See, I would love Barb being there because
That would make
I
you
know,
feel safe.
yes,
That would make
me
you
and
feel
Barb would be
safe.
on the same page, and I wouldn't be the only one freaking out. Like,
she would have been your
what if we-
emotional support.
yes, oh, I feel comfortable now, just knowing she's
Okay.
going to be there.
Okay, it's Tuesday, and Barb.
I was going to say, yeah, we might actually have to do that homework, Chuck. We might not.
Y'all can
we
sit,
might,
yeah,
course
y'all
you
sit
were.
there and have your notebooks by the pool.
Barb's going to be such a drag.
Ah.
She's going to ruin it.
I would have saved Barb.
Wow.
You know what? You might have. Yeah, she'd have had a buddy, and
There's no way with Barb there. I'm thinking I'm getting any action from Nancy now.
And just
this
to
is just such a
go
buzz
even
for
further
me.
with what was going on in that house. I mean, yes, in high school I was very naive to, like, somebody told me not to do something or it was not right. Like, I was like, yeah, duh, of course. I'm not gonna do that.
My gym teacher said I shouldn't
That's
do that.
crazy. I obviously I've come to realize like there was a little bit of stuff going on surely that I wasn't a part of, but it just still blows me away to see Steve and Nancy and they're like about to have a good time together and they're drinking beer.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe high school year, maybe I was at somebody's house and I was like, oh, they're doing that. Okay, whatever.
I'll give you a little bit of credit. I would totally overthink
that's
the whole
just me.
situation because I'd think like, where am I going to get beer? I can't steal my parents, then they would know that
I don't
it's
like saying the
gone.
word.
I've never even had it.
so funny.
I would definitely be overthinking that situation, but I would still be peer pressured into doing it. I think I'd definitely be peer pressured into doing it way faster than you would.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity to be peer pressured.
I mean, it's
into
hard
it,
to get you to do something now. As an adult, I'm like, Chuck, let's,
I love that though.
I don't
Making
want
me
to.
feel very self-conscious about my high school experience.
No, it was probably
I think
right on
we were
par.
I
We
was
were
the
weird
oddball
ones.
for sure. Not oddball, but I was the non.
You weren't
I was in the
normal, man.
minority. Yeah.
I think I was too, just on the other end of the spectrum.
Oh,
And I was right in the middle. Look at that. We found the sweet spot. Me.
Oh man, I used to walk to class smoking cigarettes out in the open. I'd cup it in my hand and
What?
just walk.
No,
See if I could.
Oh, okay. You are in the minority.
No, I was way.
Yeah, you're on the
over
other
there.
end.
I just wanted
You're
to
lying.
see.
What? You're in high school and you're smoking.
And I had cigarettes, and I would hold it like this and cup it in my hand, and I would take drags off
Wow.
of it between classes, walking down the track.
Wow.
And see, I would hear stories about, oh, this person smokes. And I was thinking, no, they don't. They're making that up. No shot.
Right.
Nobody's smoking
No, they
here.
for sure
Nobody's
were.
in the back of school.
Smoking. Right.
Maybe they were.
Shauna. That's crazy. The one time where I thought that might be a real thing, there was a kid on the bus and he had told me that he had cigarettes and he pulled out a little Ziploc bag with like 4 or 5 of them in there. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. I mean, we were like 8th, ninth grade. And I just thought that was bizarre. But that was the only interaction.
Here's my other thought, though. I went to a big high school because y'all were in school
It was a pretty small school.
out in Virginia. And I was in high school here in Atlanta. People were doing drugs in the back of the school bus. I mean, it was not that weird for a lot of things to be happening.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good.
I think location might
We'll cut you a little bit of break, but you're still on the far end of the spectrum.
Can we get back, though, to the fact that Jonathan was taking pictures of them at the party, and that's weird. Because you want us to skate by that, and I don't want
But
to.
he was taking pictures.
Well, I would like to say, I know what you're about to say. He was taking pictures of the crime scene. They weren't even good pictures. He snapped one, and I'm like, that's a branch. What is that going to tell you later, Jonathan? Oh, I'm looking at his picture.
Maybe he's a tracker, and you don't know it. He's got skills.
At night?
Even better.
No. And then he runs down, and he's like, oh, party. Might as well take pictures of him here. It was like a little bit like, okay, the situation just happened to land there. Fine. Okay, it's fine. But once they went inside and he took a picture of her up in the window, I'm like, whoops.
Jonathan is a repressed individual. I'm going to tell you that right now. He does not, he has to parent his parent. And he has very few social outlets.
At the moment, he has to parent his parent. Because she's
I'll
in
give her
distress.
some credit. I think because he's older, I think she looks to him a lot. Because even in the first episode, she's like, "What do you mean you don't know where your brother is?" Like he's expected to carry weight that somebody his age really should.
I'm concerned you're trying to justify him taking pictures of a girl in the window.
No, you should not do that. You should not. I'm just saying that I recognize the nuance there, and I think in that moment he made a bad decision. I don't think that makes him like an across the board creepy pervert. I think. Again, he just had a moment.
He redeems himself later, for sure.
I don't even mean that. I just mean I think he had a lapse in judgment, but I think there's a part of him that he never gets to let his hair down. He lives like a heavy life. And in that moment, I think his
hair is always let down. Chuck, what are your thoughts here? Please chime in.
I'll be honest. I don't even remember thinking, oh, this is so creepy weird. He's taking pictures of them. Maybe I'm just not remembering as much. I know
he's in the woods, on the edge of the woods, taking photos of them at the pool party.
But he got pictures of all of them. It wasn't just when Barb was sitting on the.
No, he got pictures of all of them, and then they go inside, and Nancy stands by the window, and he takes a picture of her up there.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Barb. And then after he takes a picture of Barb on the diving board, he runs out of film, and he misses a Demogorgon eating her. I mean,
Demogorgon?
Convenient. No. What were you going to say, Shauna? You were going to justify it somehow?
No, I was
I will go along with what, I mean, I do. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, he's a weirdo.
Well, let's picture the scenario where he gets caught. How does he talk himself out of that? Wait a minute. Is that Jonathan in the woods?
He was out looking for his brother.
He's taking pictures of us.
But that's not why he was there. It's not like he went there to take pictures of them.
But it doesn't matter.
I think that's a fair point. I actually think that's a fair point. Again, he just got caught up in the moment. He didn't leave his house like, I'm going to go sit in the woods.
No, I know. But you guys are missing it. The point. I'm the one with the point. It doesn't matter what he was doing or what it looks. All that matters is what it looks like. If you walk in and someone's standing there holding a bloody knife and there's a dead person on the floor, you're not going to think, oh, well, maybe they just walked in too and picked up the knife. No, you're going to think that person just killed them. Similarly, if he gets caught, they're not going to think, oh, well, his brother was lost in those woods. He's probably out taking photos.
I think that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's not what you would think. If you caught him, if you're Jonathan or Steve, and you're like,
well, Steve doesn't think rationally.
Anyone at that party, Nancy is going to see Jonathan in the woods taking photos.
I bet Barb would have maybe been like,
because Barb had no allies in that situation. She's desperate for any ally.
Barb might have been like, oh, hey.
Jonathan, well, we should invite. I mean, it was.
If anything, those two are probably the better suited couple.
Well,
it didn't make me. It didn't make me like totally hate his character.
No,
because
not
there
at
was
all.
some-
Right. Well, that's the thing, though. You guys have the context. I'm just saying, in terms of like what Steve and Nancy and everyone else at the party would have seen,
It would have been
they
unsettling.
wouldn't have had the context, and he would have been labeled a creep. Which, again, I argue to say he's a little bit, because he came over there and he's still taking photos. What are we taking?
Yeah, I
what are
wonder
we
if
gonna
there was
do with
another
these
way where
photos?
they could, not to always be thinking about what they were thinking when they wrote that, but maybe there was a better way to make him not look as creepy, but also
But I think the point
have
was
this
to make him
dramatic
look
part.
creepy.
You think?
I do.
I don't know why they would want to make him look creepy.
Well, it gave his character some nuance.
Well, maybe we're just,
I think the idea was
it's just
maybe
for
that,
us to be
like,
like, oh,
We're a little on
he's
the fence
his
about this guy
deal.
now. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe too it could be maybe to signify, oh, he's a loner. He doesn't have friends. He's kind of like wondering what it would be like to be on that side.
That's what I mean. He had a moment where he was like,
I know, but I still just think that's weird, and they definitely shouldn't have made him do that because I just don't understand it. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, I have a camera. Might as well just.
I think you don't like that he happened to just focus on Barb there towards the end. That's
No, it's not
bothering
that
you.
because Nancy's up
'cause
in the
he was
window
trying to snake on his girl.
and she you know, takes her shirt off and she's standing in the window. New
that's
bra,
one
by the way.
picture- That's one picture he
And
could have
he's
not
like,
taken.
you know what? That's kind of hot. Click. Anyway, let me go run off and get these.
Was it weird to take pictures of people back in the 80s?
In their windows?
That never changes.
Half naked in their window? Yeah.
Is that
I
ever?
think that was still
is
weird.
that never not okay?
When you're hiding in the woods?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't
regardless
think
of
that-
whether it's
80s, 90s.
a cell phone or
2000s, it was okay. But then we came back to the real
And during COVID, it was okay.
Yeah.
Everything was okay during COVID.
yeah, you could blame anything on the fact
Yeah.
that
Everything but
I took
going
creepy
outside.
pictures because it was
Okay,
raining.
but here's again, there's more meat to this. Joyce with the lights. I'm not gonna say this is weird by any means, because given all the clues and the situation, right? Obviously, Joyce has reason to believe that is her child playing with the lights and there's crazy stuff going on. Okay, but I want to know, and we'll obviously, get a taste of it in episode 3. But I want to know, how would you guys describe that situation to someone? Okay, you're Joyce. Your son's been missing. They already think you're a little crazy because you're getting a little delusional. You're thinking on your emotions. You're like, oh, that was totally weird. There's no other explanation. How are you explaining? Okay, so he called again. The phone blew up again, but then the lights started flickering, and I followed him down the hallway, and then that song started playing on the boom, and then these faces started busting through the wall.
So here's my thing too, as a former problem child.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't trust anybody. So I think I wouldn't. I'd be so selective. That'd be the biggest difference. I'd try to find somebody to tell maybe, but I wouldn't trust anybody with that information because it does sound insane.
Wait, though. You're not going to witness something like that, something crawling out of the wall and not tell anyone. I can't hear like a little taste of gossip and keep it to myself. I got to at least tell somebody, yo, you won't believe what I just heard. So-and-so and so-and-so, man. Let me tell you. Like,
wait, is that Hopper or is that you?
no, that's just
Yours?
me.
Oh gosh, that's
Just
good
like
to know.
There's just
No,
not.
I can sit on some stuff. And that would be hard because I would be like,
That's supernatural. There's no way you're going to pocket that and be like, all right, let me.
but that's the reason why.
Also, you're already emotional. Your kid's been gone, and he's obviously there.
That's the part that you would have to somehow try to get out ahead of is the fact that you're so emotional and frantic. But if it's your kid, can you even?
What do you even do? I would. Okay, so you're obviously not going to tell anyone. Chuck, I would love for you to play Miss Winona Ryder here.
I was initially thinking like, yeah, the face and the hands coming out of the wall. Like, I wouldn't even try to explain the lights. I mean, that could have been just a weird thing. But yeah, I think the face and the something supernatural going on like that, that's
Right.
very obvious and has no other possible
Right.
cause,
I'm not going to believe
I'm
you on
going
the
straight
lights.
with that. And right, the lights could have been, oh yeah, whatever. The face coming through the wall is like, I mean, I would have led with that and been like, okay,
You guys are never
I
gonna
wouldn't have been
believe
worried that
this.
you're going to believe me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you open with that? Okay, listen, guys.
Is Hopper who you're going to tell, or would you potentially maybe try to find somebody who'd be a little more likely to
Who
believe
is somebody? Who is somebody? One, that's going to believe you, but two, that it's going to matter. What are you going to do with that information?
I feel like it wouldn't matter if I told Hopper he wasn't going to believe me regardless, so you're still on your own.
It is a
It's
very
worth a shot, though.
out of the norm thing to hear somebody say. So you, like, if I were Hopper and anybody told me that, Joyce or anybody,
Right.
I'd be like, okay, well, that's definitely not what happened because that doesn't
That's
happen.
supernatural.
So let me just let them hear what you got to say.
Right.
But something else happened here, not that.
But
So I guess you do have to
specifically,
think about that. Like if you tell somebody that, chances are they're not immediately
they're
going to be
not
like,
going
oh my
to help
gosh,
you.
right.
They're not going to help you. You're still on
Yeah,
your
but
own,
that
and now they
feels
think
like
you're insane.
That feels like a bad reason not to tell us. Well, they're not going to believe me.
No,
anyway,
I'm
so
still
I just
gonna
won't
tell them.
Right.
Still gonna tell.
I wouldn't tell him though, because of his personality.
Who are you going to tell? Pick any of those characters. Who are you going to tell?
I don't think there's anybody that we've seen
Okay.
so far.
Then so you're going to sit on it?
I would probably tell Jonathan,
Oh, that's a terrible.
which she kind of does anyway.
Let me go grab my camera.
Gosh.
You know what I'm honestly thinking? I would probably try to tell somebody who already believed in supernatural things.
But you're picking people that aren't involved. You have to pick someone
You don't
that's
think there's
there.
like a priest somewhere around or something? I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking like
Ooh.
that. I would just want to tell somebody who already had a
Priests
strong-
believe in the supernatural?
Yes.
Jesus. Whoa, we're getting religious.
Easy.
I'm not trying to go there. I'm just saying I would want to talk to somebody who at least like Hopper seems like somebody who's like, if I see it, I believe it. If I
Yeah,
don't
he's
see it, I
very
do
concrete.
not believe it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but I don't think there's a downside to telling them.
I think because he obviously has a soft spot for Joyce, that probably works to her advantage. Otherwise, if it were anyone
Like, if
else,
you can give me a reason why telling him would be a bad thing. Otherwise, it's I tell him he doesn't believe me. There's a sliver of chance he does something to try and believe it, or go, okay, maybe we can set something up. You know,
Wait, does she tell him?
when we find out in episode 3.
Oh, okay.
I mean, again, I think the fear would be she'd leave with the lights. Listen, the lights start flickering, and then that one started flickering. I followed him down the hall, and then the boombox started playing. And
Boombox.
the song that
Was it
Will
not a
and
boom?
Jonathan.
then I held the lamp, and I said, Will, and it got really, really bright. And I'd be like, listen, Joyce, I'm going to be honest with you. You sound delusional here. But wait. Then I look over, and the wallpaper, there's something on the other side of it that starts to like try and climb out. Joyce.
I mean, you run the risk of
You
somebody
lost me.
trying to institutionalize you at that point.
Well, I think it would be more of like, okay, she lost her child. She's not thinking clearly. She might be hallucinating. Maybe we get her some medical attention. I don't think she's crazy. She's just losing it right now.
And then they take you for a little drive, and you pull up to a building, and then you really can't find
And
your
they're
son
like,
because they
just look at the
checked you
flowers.
in. Right.
Just look
They
at the
checked you in.
flowers.
That's why I wouldn't tell people. I'd be so selective because I'd be like, y'all are putting me away, not today.
That was a Walking Dead reference.
Yep,
You got it?
I did.
Just
I
look at
forgot
the
about
flowers,
that. Oh
Joyce.
my gosh.
Just look at the flowers.
That was a long
What did the guy tell Lenny in A Mice and Men too?
Oh,
He told him to look at something or do something while.
yeah. I don't remember.
That's dark.
Speaking of when they were sitting in there just listening to was it a record? That's why I made the face when you said boombox, because
I
I think
think
it was
so.
a record player. We don't call this boombox. Boombox is the
sorry.
thing you put up on your shoulder and walk
Yep,
around.
got
all
it.
cool.
Yep.
In the
Um,
streets.
But I mean, that's not a thing that really happens anymore. Like I guess people
on a
do just
record.
chill and sit in their room and listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no man. I just thought it's so neat. It was just a cool
It was
moment.
a vibe. You were wanting to be there. You were like, I want to go
It
hang
was
out
like,
with
look
these
at them
guys.
just hanging out on their bed, two brothers
Listening to
listening.
music.
And the way
were
they just
thinking-
were doing it. And I was thinking, well, that's a big deal for them to have that record and to be listening. You know,
Yeah.
nowadays we just take for granted. All right, listen
Are
to
you
Neil
about to
song.
cry?
No, I love it.
It was an emotional moment for them, for two brothers to just be on the bed.
And talking
And
through.
surely
you know,
Will is sitting there
their
thinking,
dad.
oh man, this is cool. I'm sitting here with my older brother and we're listening to this record.
That was such a rite of passage back
He's
in the
gonna
day.
cry.
I'm not going to cry. I don't have an older brother.
It was such a rite of passage back in the day, though. I mean, I had the
Right.
same experience with my cousins and CDs. The first time I heard the Nirvana Nevermind CD was my cousin came over to visit for Christmas,
getting
and he
chill
played
bumps.
me that album, and it changed my life.
Yeah, you could tell Will was sitting there like, this is awesome.
Yes, this is
That was the
awesome.
whole thing. Like when somebody plays you a record or a CD and introduces you to an artist or a genre.
And the whole little
You
bit
never
of bonding
forget it.
over, you know, hey, dad sucks.
Also,
That guy was
just what's the first thing you think of when you hear that song? Should I stay or should I go?
Guitar Hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Rock Band, but yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about
Immediately,
Rock Band.
every time I hear it,
Yeah.
that was terrible, but that's the first thing. And I'm like, expert, easy. I'm 100% on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't watched anybody play that game in
Man,
years.
little fact. Me and Chuck did it was Rock Band.
Yes.
We did. They had this one, and then I'll wrap this up because we got to wrap this one up. We did this. They have this insane playlist on there, like this game. You know, you do a playlist, you have to play all those songs without break. And we did the insane one, which had every song on the game in one playlist. I think it was like 62 songs.
Good Lord.
And he played on the drums, and I played on the guitar.
Drums is the hardest
And-
part.
And we sat there for like 5 hours and busted out every one of those songs to the point he broke
Yes.
the pedal on the drums.
None of
On the last
surprises
song,
me.
wasn't
Right on the last song, we thought, there's no way we're not going to make it. We can't do it without the kick. When there was another song that we're sitting there like, you know, different parts, like we're saving each other. Like, I'm going to lose it here.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to star power it. That was a marathon. And that might solidify the fact that we were dorks and you were smoking cigarettes in high school. So
Yeah, that's
meanwhile, we're sitting there doing a marathon of Guitar Hero in his basement. He broke the
Except we
pedal.
weren't in high
a
school. I was
Tuesday.
like a grown adult.
He's in
it's very wholesome. It's very wholesome.
Anyway, okay, well, that wraps it up for episode 2 of Stranger Things. We'll be back with episode 3. I think it's going well. The 80s is his vibe. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. Chuck, you want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. We did have an entry from the diary, literally from Hopper.
Please.
Oh, don't get too excited. I mean, apparently some stuff was going down.
Okay.
He's like, Dear Diary, hot man here. You know, that's his thing.
Yep.
All it says is WTF, bad day, hop out.
Wow, that's
So
it.
He's feeling it. Like
So
he's going
bad
through
he
some
was
stuff.
nonverbal.
Oh, yeah.
Nonverbal
Wow.
in the diary.
You know what I think it was? I think it was the daughter comment.
Oh, yeah.
He's thinking,
I felt the
knew.
WTF, bad day, ... He had a ... in there,
oh,
which is actually where I get the ... from.
from
So
Hop.
we're like, yeah, bad day, ...
Wow. Joyce mentioned my daughter, which she knows about.
Yeah,
A little
obviously.
insensitive, but whatever.
Why you gotta
Okay,
bring it
Joyce.
up?
All right, Joyce. Okay, great. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you for episode 3.